Hey, what's going on, people? My name is Brody Porter, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story of what I've been through and what I'm going through right now. As you can see, I have a tense machine, and it's spazzing my arm out. On the 14th of the 11th, 2023, I was stabbed in the neck right here where this one is, where this patch is. Now, the assailant's name I cannot reveal for legal reasons. Anyways, it's been over a year since I've been stabbed. I have severe nerve damage in my arm. I'm trying to get my story out so people know what life is about. Now, people have said to me that I don't know nothing about that shit. I know nothing about being stabbed and shit like that. I've been nearly stabbed numerous times, screwdrivers, knives, and shit like this. This is the first time I've ever been stabbed, actually. Because these cunts were all fucking pussies and they didn't want to fucking stab me. Because I fucking told them to. Now, in life, life is not something to fuck around with. Life is a dangerous place for everybody in this world. I cannot move my fingers. As you can see, I'm trying to move them right now. This is what my arm actually looks like. That's a burn because I can't feel shit. That was a blister because I can't feel shit. Now, with life, life can be a fucked up place if you let it be. Don't ever get yourself hanging out with the wrong crowds and shit like that. I done that last year on the 14th of the 11th, 2023. That's why I was stabbed, because I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. Now this little cronk, he is completely fucked. Because pardon me, this was attempted murder. Now him and his lawyer wanted to downgrade the charges to reckless stabbing, and I told the prosecutor to keep it how it is for one simple reason. I nearly lost my fucking life because of this cunt. He got me here, he got me around here. He tried sticking a knife in my head, but because my head is too fucking strong, my skull, he couldn't penetrate it. Then he tried to go for my weak spot, which is my gut. Now what a little dog. Now how it played out. I used to know this cunt. And he let me stay at his house for a few days. Shit went sideways. He kicked me out. Stole my TNs, gave them to his dickhead mate. Now, there was about $1,000 worth of damage to my stuff. All of it was about $1,000 in total. $1,000 worth of shit. Consoles, games, movies, fucking clothes and shit like that. Now, those motherfuckers turned around and said, come back tomorrow to collect your shit, right? So I go back there to collect my shit, as anyone would do, because it's their stuff, right? I get there, I see it all destroyed out the front like a piece of trash. He's just chucked it out there. I've turned around and I've said to him, look, come outside so we can have a chat. And then this motherfucker turns around, brings a baseball bat out, hits me over the head with it. Now I'm struggling around with him because I've got him, I've grabbed him, right? I'm trying to settle the cunt down. Didn't want to, kept wanting to go. So what has happened is we've gone over this like old wonky wooden barricade for his front veranda, right? He's gone head first, like the back of his head, into these big rocks in the garden, right? You know how you get all these big white rocks in the gardens and shit like that? Yeah. He fell on them. He split his head open. I had a look at myself. I had a bit of blood on me. I thought I was bleeding. No. He gets up, feels the back of his head, notices there's blood pissing out. So he's had a seizure. I don't know if it was real or not. He's had a seizure. Could have been bullshit. Who knows? Didn't give a fuck. Didn't ask. I turned around straight away, rang the ambos because I didn't want to give him shit for murder. I didn't want him to die. Because I don't want to be locked up. I don't want this life for myself. I don't want it for anyone else. This is why I'm trying to get my story out to people. Anyway, so after he's had his little seizure, which was about not even a minute, he's crawled back all the way up to his veranda. Laid down, don't know if it was real or not, had another seizure. Calling out his brother's name once he's gotten up. And then somehow he's gotten the strength to climb up, open the door, and go inside. But the first thing he said to me before he walked inside was, "I'm gonna fucking kill you." So I've run, and I'm on the phone to the ambos, right? And I said, "Yeah, you might want to get the coppers out here too, because he's just threatening to kill me," right? Because I love my life. I never wanted it like this. I never wanted it fucking shit. As would anyone. Nobody would want their life going to shit like this. Anyways, so I've gotten to the main road. I've gotten off this side street where we live, turned onto another side street, then turned on the main road. Now there was a server across the road which caught the footage, and it's all over the media and all that. It's all over the internet. So he's come out of nowhere. He's turning around and said, "Get the fuck out of here," right? Without even giving me a chance to. Because it was peak hour and there was a crash literally right in front of me. So I couldn't go down the road. I couldn't get across to the servo. So I was completely fucked no matter what I did. So I stood there and I heard him. I turned around. He's charging at me with a fucking knife in his hand, right? Like that. So first, he's tried to get me here. That is the very first spot he's tried. Couldn't get me. My left arm was my strongest arm. My left arm has always been my dominant arm because of my southpaw. Then he tried to go up here. Right there. Couldn't get me. Too strong. My skull. My arm. My left arm. Then the coward, right, turns around. Now mind you, I had a nice purple Tupac shirt on. I had these nice fucking white shoes on as well. Lost my shoes in the hospital. I'll get up to that in a second. Now, because he couldn't get me here, he got me a little bit here, didn't fucking matter. Didn't get me up here, couldn't get me down there, so because this one has never been my dominant arm, this one's always been my weaker arm, he's got me right there. Now, I'm struggling with him. I thought I still had control because I closed my eyes because I thought I felt my like pins and needles going all the way down my arm, right? So I've gone like that, like in pain because I thought it was pins and needles, right? Wake up. I woke up to myself. I opened my eyes, right? Noticed I only had one arm on the arm that he had the knife in, right? Then he's turned around and fell, collapsed because he's out of breath and fucking I tied him out. Dropped the knife, right? Now, I nearly died. No motherfucker would stop and help me. Except one person. And I'm gonna thank him for it. A nice African guy. Right? I love this brother because of it. I've got black in me, so I can say that stuff, right? He's my nigga for life for saving me. So he's jumped out of his car right behind this crash. Didn't give a fuck. Had the car running. Ran over to me. Goes, "What the fuck is going on?" And then he seen the blood. Because I was screaming out for help. And nobody helped. And then he's gone, "Look, I don't give a fuck if you're bleeding. Get the fuck in my car. I'm taking you straight to the hospital." So we've got to the hospital, right? I walked in. Swearing galore. Going off, going, "Motherfuckers, get to me. Help me. I've just been fucking stabbed and I'm not gonna fucking die." I fucking had to go with all those cunts in the middle of the hospital and everybody was looking, blood pissing out everywhere, right? Now this nurse, I think he was, paramedic. That's right, paramedic. Paramedic come up to me, right? He's had a look at it. He's going, "Look, we need to put something on it to put pressure on it." So he's gone and got something, put pressure on it. Waited there for about 15, 20 minutes, I felt. Could have been half an hour, right? Then I was taken away on the gurney to this room, which they held that thing on there, right? Mind you, it was pissing out so bad that they needed to swap it a couple of times, like 3 times or so. And what's happened, right, is I was losing so much blood. I was bleeding out. I'll admit that. I was bleeding out. I was dying. Took them 45 minutes just to get that to stop and get me into the room with the x-ray in it. So I've gone in for an x-ray, right? Done that shit. Boom. Went back to the same room after that. You know what fuck happened? Waited there for another 45 minutes before I had to go in and get that stitched up. Now, their machine that was hooked up to me to see my heart rate, see if it flatlined or anything, right? Didn't show up. It said my heart was all fine. But I knew. I could feel it. I died on that table. My soul was going up to heaven. And then I seen God and he turns around and he says to me, "What the fuck are you doing here? You're not meant to be here, you're meant to be down there." But he never swore. I swear because I'm Bogan. I've got Bogan in me as well. That's why I swear. Because I've got different cultures in me. Now, I died on the table. Later on that day, I woke up in the ICU. I was endone for about 3-4 days while I was in there, right? I had enough of being in there. I wasn't meant to leave early. I was meant to stay there, like a good little boy, right? I didn't do that. I signed out the 3rd or 4th day that I was there, right? I had enough. I couldn't be in hospital anymore, because that's where traumatic shit happened to me. Not just with this, but with relatives of mine passing away and shit like that. People I love, people I care about, died in hospital, right? That's why I don't like being in hospitals. That's why I got the fuck out of there as quick as I could, right? As soon as I left, they changed me from endone to codeine, which stopped working, right? I had so much fucking pain in my arm because of my nerves. Now, once I got out, I started smoking. Yeah, I'll admit this, because this is part of my story. I started smoking pot. Done a lot of exercise, going on fucking walking and shit. I lost so much weight it wasn't funny. That's why my arm's like this. Mind you, my arm was also in a sling for about 3 months or so. Didn't take it out because I don't know. Because nobody ever told me how long to keep it on for, what the fuck to do, or anything like that. So I started puffing on the chuff, right? And time goes by, I'll be able to get into the Royal North Shore Hospital at the hand clinic, right? Now this specialist, I'm not going to reveal his name or anything, he had a look at me, right? He done some examinations, moved my fingers like that, done shit with my arm, exercises, right? See where it's at, what the fuck it's going on. The worst news ever that I received that day. I started crying because of it. I was told that I'll never get fully function back in my arm again. Never 100% again. That's why I've got the TENS machine on. That's why I'm trying to push myself. Because I want to get as much strength and power back in this arm as much as I can. Just so I can do my daily stuff without being depressed, wanting to kill myself because of this fucked up arm, because of what this cunt done. Time goes on. Now we're here just over a year later, near Christmas time. Again. Felt like Christmas was only yesterday. I had a really bad Christmas. No presents. All I got was pain in my arm. Time goes on. Here today. Still fighting it. Still recovering. Still smoking pot to try and help my pain. Relieve it. Getting stoned. Working on my arm. Trying to push myself. Because I'm not trying to do this for anyone but one person. 2 people. My little boy Shadow. He's a chihuahua. Love the little boy. He's my child, he's my son. If anything happens to him, I'll fucking be there and I'll flog the cunts, right? And the other person I'm doing this for in life is my older brother Ryan. Because my older brother Ryan, he was always there for me growing up. Growing up, I never had a good childhood or anything. The only thing that was good about it was my older brother Ryan. Because what he done is, he's seen me all the time stressed out, pissed off. Always turned around and said to me, not one time he's ever missed that. Turned around and said, oi, get your boots, get whatever you need, get your bike, come down the footy field with me. So he taught me how to play football all the time, right? Taught me how to kick for goal properly. Taught me how to drop kick properly. That's why I know how to drop kick today. Because of my older brother. Now, I learned more off my older brother than I ever have in anybody in my entire life. Nobody has taught me as much shit as he done. Growing up, I had fucked up school. I went to school with my older brother. I was in kindergarten. He was in year 6. Right? I went to school called Marion Heights Public School. Now, the principal there was a gronk, Mr. McLennan. I still remember that little piece of shit. I don't understand how that motherfucker could let this year 5 cunt bash into my fucking head while I'm in kindergarten, right? Kicking my head up against those big square poles in school, right? The wooden ones. Kicking it, punching it all the time up against that fucking thing. Now, one day, he was punching the fuck out of my head, right? Belting the fuck out of me. My brother sees it. My older brother. I still remember that. He turns around and goes, oi, cunt, what the fuck you doing? That's my brother. And then he's turned around and all you've heard was these monster footsteps because he was like a fucking giant. Because he played football. Now you heard him running at this motherfucker and this cunt's just shit himself and fucking bolted to the principal's office and hid behind him. My brother got suspended for that because he threw a rock through the window. Now this year 5 cunt never got nothing for it. My older brother was always there for me. I feel like I'm letting him down because I'm not fucking getting his arm back. Yes, after it happened, I was a dumb cunt. I wasn't thinking straight because of all the fucked up shit that's happened to me. Now that I've got people to talk to, people I can relate to that I'm talking to, right? I'm now coming to my senses, now starting to realise that I feel like I'm failing my older brother for not getting his arm working again. It hurts me, it pains me because me and my brother aren't on speaking terms and I apologise to him for the fucking shit that happened. I love my brother with all my heart and I want him, I hope he sees this video. Ryan, if you see this video, I love you, my older brother. I'm a changed person now. I still have that photo of when we were younger, when I was a baby and you were holding me, Ryan, on the lounge. If you want to see that photo, get in contact with me, brother. You know where I am. You know how to get in contact with me, brother. I love you. I'm sorry for everything. I wish things were different. We had the best bond growing up. He was like my father. He's taught me everything that I know today about footy, technology, games, and shit like that. That's why I got an Xbox 360 just sitting right there because of my older brother, Ryan. He grew up with me playing the Xbox and shit, playing rugby league, playing Call of Duty and shit like that. When I wasn't even 15. I love my brother for everything that he done. He wasn't just like my father or my brother. He was like my mentor and my best friend. And I lost him because of shit that happened. Now this is tough for me to come out and say this, but I fucked up with him. The reason why he doesn't talk to me anymore is because I fucked up. Right? Now this little gronk, now Daniel May, influenced my brother badly into fucking doing burnouts. I was worried about him. I didn't want him to get locked up or anything. I don't give a fuck about his dickhead, mate. I nearly jumped the cunt. And so I've come out and I've said it the wrong way. I was worried about him. I was concerned about him because I didn't want him to get locked up because he's my older brother. I love my brother. He's my blood. He's my family. And I'll do anything to look after him like he has for me growing up. And so kind of shit went a bit sideways and I've turned around and because I was scared, I was worried, I was shitty with this dickhead mate, I've turned around and had a go at him and gone, mate, you're bloody lucky the coppers haven't caught you yet. And he didn't like that. I admit, that was my fault. That was my mistake. That was my fuck up. He's turned around and he's put me in a chokehold. Now, my mother has just finished stopping the lawnmower because she was out the back mowing the lawn. And what the bitch has done, right? She stopped the mower. She would have heard me scream. Didn't give a fuck. I was calling out to her. Didn't care. So after he fucking took off again, I went inside. I rang my father and I said, look, Ryan's just put me in a chokehold. And my father's turned around going, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm out doing shopping. I'm out getting milk and shit like that. And he didn't like that, so he rang the coppers on my brother, and my brother got an ABO against him. I wrecked my family. I wrecked my relationship with my older brother. I fucked up. I'm a homewrecker. That's part of the reason why I'm so mentally fucked up today. That's part of the reason why my hairline's going back because of how stressed out I am because I don't have my brother in my life. And I know for a fact that if my brother was there with the day that I got stabbed, he wouldn't have let me get stabbed. He would have stood up and he would have knocked the knife out of this dog's hand, bashed the fuck out of him, put him on his ass, wait for the cops to arrive, and then I would have been a witness and backed up his story and also the camera footage from the survey. I've tried explaining myself to my older brother numerous times when he's come back and visited because he moved out after that. And he didn't give a shit. He didn't want to know. He didn't want to know. This is my story. I'm trying to get it out so people in the world don't have to suffer like me, like what I'm going through. I don't want people to go through what I'm going through. That's not fun. That's not good. It fucks your life. It shatters you. It shatters everything around you. It shatters everyone around you. You get fucked up like this one day. Your family members, your best mates who are always there for you will bawl their eyes out. Every motherfucker that loves you and cares about you will bawl their goddamn eyes out. So, the message I'm trying to get across to you guys is don't be like me. You'll shatter everyone in your family. You'll shatter all your mates because one day you might not end up like this. You could end up dead. And nobody in your life who loves and cares about you would want that for any of you. I know my loved ones never wanted this for me. I never wanted it for me. Now I've got to suffer through the pain of nerves and the tense machine because of what happened. Now, lately, because I haven't had this arm working, I've had a lot of incidents happen to it, like burns and shit like that. I got a fresh one on me from earlier tonight from cooking my food, right? Now, I like gardening, I like lawnmower, I like making music. So I was gardening one day, a couple of times, right? Cut down trees, fucking shit like that. I fucked my other hand up so bad. I fuck myself up all the time. I'm accident prone. But that is something that probably nearly everyone is in the world. But my message to you guys, keep the right crowd. And to anybody whose parents are watching this, don't let them make the same mistake I did, please. This is nothing that you would like for your kids. Nothing at all. You'll be shattered. So, my message to your parents, if any parent is watching this, Make sure you keep an eye on your child at all times under the age of 18, right? Legally, you're allowed to go through their phone all the time whenever you want. If you see them hanging out with a bad crowd, you'll know about it because they'll talk about drugs, partying, stabbings, and shit like that. Go through their phones. Make sure that there's nothing on there like that. Because if there is, one day you could end up losing your child. And I know for a fact no parent wants that because I've already lost unborn kids myself. My parents have lost a child. My older brother Kyle, he was born 2002. I never got to meet him because I was born 2005. He wasn't even 12 months old. He caught meningococcal disease from the collection, right? I never met him. So that fucked me up. Growing up, it's still fucking me up. I've had a lot of loss and grief in my life, and now this. It's not fun. So please, keep an eye on what your kids are doing. Please do not let them be like me. This is a human being. One human being to other human beings. If you got kids, if you love your family, if you do anything to protect them, you go through their phones. Now the kids to the parents. How would you feel, right? Imagine this. What if you got killed one day? How would your parents feel? I've already been stabbed. I've lost kids, right? My family I didn't feel like they gave a fuck about me, right? Now I got my boy Shadow, my son, my child, right? He's up there sleeping in the bed. He's very upset. He's very depressed because I'm being like this. Because he can sense it. Dogs can sense when there's something wrong. And I've been told to get rid of him. So I said no. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. Because he's been there for me, for my mental health problems, for my alcohol abuse, for my drug abuse. He's been my support buddy. He's also my child, right? I'll also look after the little bugger. He's got a rare skin disease. His ears have scabs on them. They're slowly going away, but they come back and go and come back and shit like that. You know how it goes onwards. His bum has a problem with it. He was neglected by the last owner. That's why he's got rare skin disease. And his tail, the fur on his tail is slowly starting to grow back, but it looks like a naked rat's tail at the moment. But, yeah, as I was saying, to the kids of those parents, if any parents watch this, I'm sorry for doing this, parents, but I feel like this is the only way I can get it across to them. To the kids of the parents, if they watch this, pull your fucking heads in, go down the right path. Don't go down the path that I went down. Because now, because of all this shit that I'm going through, my loss of kids, I'm at the worst stage in my life. I am filled with rage and I cannot get rid of it. I'm filled with depression. I'm filled with suicidal thoughts all the time. I feel like killing myself because of everything that I've gone through, including this. But I know for a fact, deep down, if I don't push through, I'll be letting my kids down. I'll be letting my older brother down. I'll be letting my little boy Shadow down. And I don't want to do that. So I'm doing my best to keep fighting for them. Because I love them with all my heart. They're my family. Even the people that I've lost who are older than me, I love them still. They're my family. I lost my nan as a child. I lost a couple of my uncles growing up. Back in 2017, I had this best mate who was a church kid. He was a really nice kid. He was 12 at the time. He had trouble breathing. He was struggling to breathe, so his parents rang an ambulance. They rushed him straight to Westmead Children's Hospital. The very same night, he was sent home misdiagnosed, right? Now I blame Westmead Children's Hospital for this. My best mate went to sleep the exact same night he got back. Then, in the morning, his mum tried to wake him up for school. Now, when I heard about this, I dropped to my knees and started bawling my goddamn eyes out because he never woke up. He died in his sleep. Then he got rushed back to hospital. He was on life support, but he was class brain dead. So I lost my best mate. Recently, in the last few years, I think it was 2022, I grew up with this dog. Her name was Dory. She was a fox terrier cross chihuahua. A bit like Shadow up there. Went into my older brother's old room because he left. That's where Dory was. I said, "Good night, Dory. I'll see you in the morning, girl." She was old at the time, but she had a big lump like that on the back of her leg, on her back leg. Said goodnight. Went to bed. Woke up. First thing I did, what do you think I done? I went straight into the room and I said good morning to Dory. I turned the light on. There was no response. She never looked up at me or anything. I said good morning, Dory, again. No answer. So that's when I started to get worried and I started shaking her and I started bawling my eyes out going, "Dory, wake up, Dory, wake up, wake up, wake up." And she was dead. She had rigor mortis. She was stiff as all hell. Now, in the last couple of months, there was a very old lady, right? Been through World War II, had a tough life. She was old. Now, I lost my nan at a young age, and I never thought I'd find anyone like her again because of how nice, how kind she was, how loving she was towards me. When everyone pushed me away and all that, she was the only one there for me. Now, this old lady named Betty, she become to grow on me like my nan. I grew up around her. She was like my nan. My nana. In the last couple of months, she was rushed to Blacktown Hospital. That's where she died because she was a big woman and she had poison in her nerves because of how big she was. She passed away. Now, I never got to say my last goodbyes to my nana. I don't know where she is. I don't know where my nana is. And then the day of Betty's funeral, I was on my way there. The car broke down. So someone else had to come get me. So we've gone out there. I've missed it. Got a couple of flowers though. Second one was like my nan. My nan and Betty. They were top ladies. They were top old ladies. I love the fuck out of them. They were my family and I'll do anything for them. But I never got to say goodbye to either of them. And that shattered the fuck out of me when I couldn't get to say my last goodbyes to Betty. Because I didn't get to have my last goodbyes with my nan. So I wanted to have them with Betty, but I couldn't. So now I'm here, depressed as fuck, mentally ill, bad, trying to get supports. I've got a couple mental health services involved, and I'm slowly doing alright for myself. But at the end of the day, this is a life that anybody don't want. You don't want this crappy street life. You don't want it. You really don't. It's messed up. It's fucked up. People die all the time on these streets. People get fucked up all the time. People get stabbed all the time. People get shot all the time. People get chopped all the time. People get bashed all the time. Now this world is going fucked. Do you know why this whole world is being fucked up? It's because of the government. The government's fucking this whole world up. That's why so many people get away with murder. That's why so many people get away with stabbings, bashings, shootings and shit like that. Because the fucking system is fucked up and corrupted. Now, I live in Australia, in Sydney. This place is fucked up. Sometimes I wish I could just Be the Prime Minister and run this company, or just fucking find somehow, some way to get the any Aboriginal, to get in to be the Prime Minister, so that way they can bring this country back to its former glory and keep our streets safe. Because I know Aboriginals are very kind, very friendly, but if you piss them off, they'll fuck you up. But I've got some good black Aboriginal boys. They're alright. They treat me well, even though I'm an outcast because I'm white on the outside, but I'm black on the inside. Good niggas. Good fellas. Good lads. Smoke a lot of bongs and shit, though. Smokes ice and shit like that. But that's because of what they have to live with what the white cunts have put them through. Now, yes, I might be white. I don't give a fuck if I put my own culture down. Because at the end of the day, I'm protecting the other part of my culture, which is the black side in me. Now, the reason why I got stabbed is because this cat was on ice, right? Big time. Heavy ice addict. Alright? Now, because I wasn't on any drugs, because I don't believe in that bad shit. I only believe in smoking pot because it's a plant. He was too strong for me, for this side. Not for this side though, because this has always been my dominant hand. As you can tell, the difference between them. This one's smaller, this one's much bigger. That's why I was stabbed. And I hope this message gets out to all you. Please, don't fuck up. Because your family, everybody you love and care about, will be so depressed to the point if something happens to you and you die, they might go and kill themselves. And nobody wants that in the world. I can't even see death around me because I've seen a lot of it, and it doesn't scare the fuck out of me. It just makes me pull my eyes out because I do have a heart at the end of the day. Sometimes I don't show it. Sometimes I show I'm not the spawn of the devil. But at the end of the day, I've got a good heart. I try to do right by people. Try to do good by people. People just fucking chuck it back in my face. I think to myself, why do I even bother trying? Because that's what you do in this world. You try your goddamn hardest to help people. That's how you get good favors. That's how you get gold in life and gold in the afterlife. That's how you don't get that shit in the afterlife or during life, growing up. This is my story. I wanted to get it out so people are aware of what the fuck is going on, what I'm going through. Now, I'm not looking for support. I'm just trying to get my story out. But if you would like to support me, that's more than fine. I would more than appreciate people supporting me. But at the end of the day, I'm not looking for that. I'm just trying to get my story out. But yeah, you can support me if you like. Come message me. I'll respond back to you. That's if I'm not busy. And yeah, but if you support me, I appreciate it. Thank you. And that's all.